What's happening, everybody? Make sure. So I'm not in a tin can tonight. I think everything is everything good. Amazing. Does that make any difference? Is that better? Somebody messed with my settings. And I'm not pumped about that. That's all right. I guess I don't have to be pumped about it. Anyway, loud and proud. Here we are, baby. Let's get rid of that. How's everybody doing? Happy Easter. I know it's late. It's just a little bit after 8 here on the West Coast. I had to go to a Easter dinner that I was invited to. My aunt and uncle, and it was good. It was nice. It was long. It's one of those things. Come over at 3, we'll eat at 4. We went over at 3. We didn't eat at 4. We ate at 5:30. Followed by, you got to wait for dessert, and then on and on and on and on. So it was nice. Nah, I'm not going to tell you about my uncle. You don't want to know about my uncle. I don't want to know about my uncle. It's just how it is. But anyway, happy Easter to everybody. 11. I did have ham, scallop potato. Not scallop, was it? Scallop potatoes and green beans. It was good. It was fantastic. But yeah, Cherry Max, we absolutely did. It was fantastic. All right, well, so everybody, welcome to the lab, and we're gonna talk about the Sebastian Rogers case a little bit tonight. And I know that people are covering it ad nauseum. I understand that it's what everybody wants to talk about, and I get it. I understand it. But there are a couple of things that I wanted to talk about in regards to the Sebastian Rogers case, because it's something, I wouldn't say that I've been doing research, but I've been looking, you know what I mean? About around, not, and this isn't me. I'm not digging in to anybody or their past or whatever, which, by the way, I don't typically have a problem. See, there's this thing on YouTube or just in general social media, Twitter, all those fun entities, that it's fun to expose each other. Like, if you don't like somebody, or you have something against somebody, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to expose you, blah blah blah. But what's good for the goose, good for the gander, so on and so forth. And I would think, they're like, well, people will say, well, how is that fair to the parents? Well, I'll say this. How is that fair that people have to be quiet about the things that have happened to them just because people don't think that have nothing to do with it? They don't think that it has anything to do or pertain to anything involving the case. I'm going to defer to the experts on that. And the experts would tell you, and not just the ones that I know, you talk to any of them, not just the ones that I know or that but everybody else will tell you that the past matters. All right. But here's what I want to first talk about in this case today. I was looking at, because there's only a couple of possibilities here, okay? And that happened, okay? He walked away, ran away, excuse me, or somebody did something with him, meaning hid him, moved him, hurt him, or whatever. There's only a couple of scenarios that would be even plausible. And one of the best, I would say the best, but one of the high possibilities at the time that it was reported that this young man went missing was because that he possibly walked away. Now the statistics ran away. Now the statistics for that are not good. They're not good when it comes to Sebastian's case. Now, autistic children do run away. I mean, that's actually a thing. Okay. And it's just a thing that happens, and they say about half of kids with autism run away. But then you just talk about teens in general that run away, okay, which happens as well. If you just mix them all together, all the runaways, and you look at it, yeah, it's called eloping. That's right, Ladybug. There's an actual term for it. It is called eloping, and it's just this like sense of freedom, or they become fixated on something, or so on and so forth. Okay. 1/5 of runaways, teenagers, ages 12 to 17, 1/5 return within 24 hours. 3/5 return within a week. And there's another 5th that there's some mix, okay, of things that happen. So if you're looking at it from a runaway standpoint, then you would really think that, first of all, that he would have returned. Somebody would have spotted him, or he would have came back on his own. Now, Eric says no camera footage. Now, the no camera footage that we know of, that's the important part. To realize that there's no camera footage that we know of, okay, and this runaway, theory. If you go strictly by statistics, then there should have been, and I say this as gently as possible, should have been some sort of trail, some sort of sign that he walked out the door, that he ran away, anything. Okay. 1/5 return within the first 24 hours. And then 3/5 return within the first, it's like 72 hours to a week. All right. So if you think about that, just think about it. And then you couple it with him not having shoes. He didn't take his money, or he didn't take anything of the sort. Now I hear people go, well, his shoes this, his shoes that. The parents, and I believe TBI as well, have absolutely said now that he didn't have shoes. So what are the chances that he ran away? Well, I would say that that's kind of what I was thinking, because when kids run away, they say about 49% of kids, the reason that they run away is because of some form of abuse in the house. Now, with Chris's revelation that he whipped Sebastian one time, which you got to take him at his word, because there's no proof that's the case. However, that would be remarkable self-control. Remarkable self-control. So I don't think so. All right. I just don't think that's the case. I don't think he ran away. But I did at first. I was like, okay, well, maybe this child ran away because maybe he did not like what was going on in the house, or maybe the way that he was being treated. I thought that was a fair assumption of what was going on. I thought that it was very fair. Now, as this has gone on, and we are 35 days, this young man, Sebastian Rogers, has been missing for 35 days, and you haven't heard peep. Not just nothing, but absolutely nothing. Now, there was that scheduled meeting with the parents where I don't exactly know. I've heard bits and pieces of what some people were talking about, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what they were doing. I know that people are speculating what had happened. I just don't know if that's the case. And if you're going by statistics, Roberta says it, and Roberta's correct. It's not looking good. Kathy, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate that very much. Bob H becoming a YouTube member. Bob H Plays. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. And Teresa becoming a YouTube member as well. Thank you very much, Teresa. And then for the super sticker as well. And Nick with the $5. Thank you for the $5 super chat. So we are at 35 days. So when you're saying it's not looking good, I mean, that's probably an understatement. Let's just put it this way. It's not looking good for Sebastian, first and foremost. Okay. Now, there's this other sort of kind of elephant in the room with the parents and their inactions or actions. And, I get it. I heard about the Cracker Barrel thing. I heard about they were eating. People eat. People go to restaurants. It's hard for me to fault them for that. It's just not a great look. The optics, you hear that a lot in politics. Optics. The optics. Well, the optics in this case don't look good. Now, does that make them guilty of anything? No, it certainly doesn't. But you could say that for most things. The optics to me is that when you aren't looking for a child, and I don't know, they say that they have, you would think that there would be some photos of that instead of them just, being at Cracker Barrel or blah, whatever. But the optics are just bad. The statistics are bad. And the actions are bad. And now, as this sort of unfolds, the other shoe drops, one after the other. Now you have the ghost of Christmas past show up with Katie, with Chris, and if you believe Nina's story, and I do, and I'm sure, and I'll get to that here in a little bit too, and I'm sure that there are a lot of people that have reached out. I've talked to several people that have reached out to me to tell me stories of their interactions, specifically with Chris, mostly. And, you can't just go around treating people bad. You can't. When you do that, and like I said, I didn't see any criminal charges or anything like that, but the police have been called. CBS has been involved and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that I believe her too, but and there are people that won't believe her. And then, a lot of things that I saw on this too. And I want to be very clear. Let me be just as absolutely clear as possible on this. When this lady tells her story, and it's a heartbreaking story, and then you see people, and I'm sure there are people that did this here, but I just want you to hear this, at least from my angle. When you say things like, well, you're no better than him because you didn't take your kid out of that situation, shame on you. And the reason I say shame on you is because when people say things like that, they pretend that they do everything right. Nobody knows your story. You just sit there and criticize. That's not right. You think that because she has the guts to come out and tell you the story where she knows that it was not a good thing to stay, that there are people that sit there and go, well, you're just as guilty as she is. That is not true at all. And the people that want to say those kinds of things, let's hear your story. Let's hear about how you do everything perfect. Oh, if that would have happened to me one time, I would have been this or I would have been that. Yeah, right. Ridiculous. Sickening. And none of you, including me, get to decide who tells what. None. You can talk about it all you want. You can have your little, prissy comments, your little catty comments, your little, whatever. Shame on you. Let's hear your story. Made me sick. And then there was actually people thinking that, like, oh yeah, that's a good point. It's not a good point. It's a terrible point. It's stupid. The reason that this lady came out was because she thought that it would not only help her in her custody battle, but it also would help shine some light on who this person and their family is. That's why she did this. It was her choice. She decided. Not you, not me, not anybody else. She decided. And then you just have people that want to sit back and go, well, I don't believe her. Okay, fine. Who cares? Who cares if you don't believe her? What does that matter? Oh, you don't believe her. Okay, cool. Great. Go have another one. I don't believe her. Fine. There's two sides to every story. There's two sides to every story. There's two sides to every story. All right, well, I don't see Chris jumping out here, folks. I don't see Chris out here defending himself. Let's hear your side of the story, Chris. Oh, no, he doesn't want to get into it. Well, guess what? It's already out there. Silence speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. It's ridiculous. We did hear his side. We certainly did hear his side. And it said LOL. LOL. There's a child missing. There have been accusations of abuse and admittance of abuse. There have been allegations of family members threatening exes with baseball bats. And yet I don't see any of them coming out and denying it. Where? Where's the denials? Oh, I'm not going to get caught up in that. Well, you know that's how these things happen. You didn't think that somebody from Chris's past or Katie's past was going to show up and just tell you everything. Now, you may not think that it is, I hear this. Well, it's not relevant to the case. Okay. I would like you to talk to psychiatrists, forensic psychologists, counselors, wardens, parole boards. Talk to all of them because they'll disagree with your stupid ass. All right. They will disagree with you 110%. Yeah. And she is a bitter ex. Where's her evidence, Josh? You're one-sided. What do you know about her, Josh? Hey, Victoria, what do you know about her? And your dog's ugly. Can somebody kick her out? Bye. Later, skater. I actually think the dog's kind of cute, but you're a jerk off. So later. She gone. She gone. Yeah, she's a bitter ex. Yeah, I'd be bitter too if somebody hit my kid in the face. I'd be super bitter about that. I would be so friggin' bitter about somebody hitting my 3-year-old and busting my kid's lip. I would feel so bitter about that. So you're right, Victoria. And I'm sure that you have a lot of weddings and parties to go to this summer and that people just invite you in willingly and that you're probably a blast. Maybe you're just having a bad day. I don't know. See you later, Vicky. Gotta go. Got no time for you. One-sided. Okay, fine. But that's just the side that look, I asked Chris, and Chris doesn't owe me or anybody anything. If he doesn't want to come talk about it, then fine. But that doesn't mean that she can't talk about it. Now, here's the thing. If she's lying, it will come out in their court case. And it'll be a big problem for her. I don't think she's stupid. That's just me. I don't think she's dumb. I think she's pretty smart. And I think that it was strategic in nature. I know the puppy was cute, but I'm sure it's got a bad attitude too. Can you believe Josh got so mad? Yeah, I think she knows what she's. I think she knows what she's. I don't believe she's lying. I don't believe her. I don't believe that she's lying one bit. We're not even talking about that. But apparently, if I was to get accused of hurting a child, the poor. Can you imagine having to live with that? Just like, here, puppy, come here. There's only one side to your story. And the dog's just like, this is miserable. Can I stay outside longer? I don't want to be around you. How'd I get stuck with you? I do. I actually feel bad for that dog. Um, oh, look, if she was lying, if she is lying, and I do not believe that she's lying at all, but what I'm saying is it would be detrimental to her case. All right. Now, once again, she's not the first person to talk about what a jerk this guy is. All right. Now, I'm going to read this to you. And I'm not going to release the name of the person because I don't want to, people don't want to get caught up in victim blaming. Ridiculous. It's just weird. All right. So this is from somebody that had an interaction with, and I'm just coupling this with what Nina said, and you take it from there. There was an incident when where I worked at a pet supermarket in Hendersonville. I worked with his sister. I was the assistant manager there at the time, which was 2014, 2015. So we're going back 10 years. Hit the Wayback Machine. His sister and another girl had gotten into an argument, which started from them playfully bantering in the back room, and her sister called the other girl a slut, and his sister called the other girl a slut, and the coworker barely taps her with her belt on his sister's forearm. His sister started crying, and I asked to see her arm, and there was nothing there. So I talked to the coworker. She demonstrated the tap on the arm, and I didn't feel it. So I sent his sister home, and I told the coworker I'd talk to the store manager about the incident and let them know and let them decide what needed to happen. His sister at the time was around 19 or 20. I was 21 to 22, and the coworker was 18 to 19. So his sister called Chris and told him what happened. He came to the store, and I heard shouting at the front of the store. One of my other coworkers was at the register and pointed at me as Chris was asking who I was. He came up to me and cornered me in the back of the store and started screaming at me, calling me names and demanding that I show him who the coworker who got into it with his sister was. I told him I wasn't telling him anything until he calmed down. He kept screaming at me. He kept screaming, and he was right up against my face. I signaled to my coworker to call the police and kept repeating for him to leave and get away from me. He then started saying he'd be waiting for us when the store closed outside, and that he would drag the coworker out by her hair to the street, and that he would slash our tires. He eventually left before police arrived. When the police got there, they called him and had him on speaker, and he was completely calm with them versus how he was with us, telling them he was in the Navy and some other stuff. The police ended up telling him, being in the Navy, he shouldn't be running around threatening young females, that he was banned from the store, and said he'd be arrested on site if he came back, and that his adult sister could fight her own battles. I chose not to press charges unless he came back or I found my property damaged. He never came back. And his sister quit. And that was the last of it. So, I'm sure some people will believe that. I'm sure some people won't. The police were called. He was contacted by the police, and this absolutely happened. It absolutely did happen. Okay. Now, does that make him guilty of anything? No, it doesn't. But all these stories, there are more stories about out there. What about you heard Seth, how he basically said threatened Seth's sister. You know, that seems like that to me, that just seems out of bounds and inappropriate. And threatening to drag somebody out of a store by their hair. Okay, then you go back to when Nina talks about the baseball bat incident with his stepdad, who might as well just be his biological father. I mean, he 3 years old. And a lot of that seems like it could be learned behavior. And, you know, he's had authorities called on him. He may not have any charges that we know of, and that he was in the Navy. A lot of people were in the Navy. That doesn't make you some upstanding citizen. Certainly, it definitely helps your status in life. But if you're a jerk, you're a jerk. If you're mean, you're mean. And when you go around acting that way in general, when you just go around acting that way in general, that stuff's going to come back to bite you in the ass someday. Someday something's going to happen where people are going to take a good look at you, and it's just not going to look good. It doesn't look good. It isn't good. And you want people to just ignore that. And I don't see how you can. I wish that this had nothing to do with anything, and it very well might not, but it very well might. And the only person that suffers from it, 2015, the only person that's suffering is Sebastian. At this point, hiding anything would be foolish. Now I get it. You know, there are things that happen in people's lives in their past that they don't want unearthed, or that they don't want brought up, or whatever it is, you know. But this is different. There's a missing kid. Sebastian. Sebastian did not disappear off the face of the earth. I find it highly unlikely that he would have walked away or ran away. Although at first, when I first heard about this story, I thought that was something that could have happened. However, the statistics aren't, you know, I mean, it's 35 days, folks. It's 35 days. I just don't see how that is going to, how that would play into this. Okay, so what about the abduction theory? Stranger abduction. Now, we've known about stranger abduction for a very long time. We've talked about stranger abduction. And out of the 500,000 children, well, it's actually 450,000. Out of the 450,000 children that go missing, 1% are stranger abductions. Over it's close to 60% of Amber Alerts are because of parents. Okay, well, that's fine. Even if it doesn't, even at any formative years. But I see you. It's all good. 1%. Let me see here. Marty says, Josh, as you talk about it, what is your answer to help him find Sebastian? First of all, I think the answer would be, I think people just need to be honest. The honesty would help this situation. I don't believe people are being honest. 1%, Eric, is stranger abduction. I just don't think they're being honest. I don't think that they're telling everything that they know, because there's no. So, okay, let's say that the 1% stranger abduction falls into this situation. Let's just throw that out there. Stranger abduction, 1%, no sign of forced entry, no disturbances, nothing taken from the house. Only Sebastian goes missing without his shoes. Does that scream runaway? No. Does that scream abduction? No. It certainly doesn't. How you could think that that is where this is headed? Where are the updates? Think about this. How many updates do we got? None. Zero. No updates at all from law enforcement. No suspects. No outside suspects. No vehicle descriptions. No nothing. Not a thing, folks. Nothing. And we're to believe that they're not investigating what happened in that house. In that house. Nobody went out the front door. Nobody went out the window that we know of. He's not a runner. He wouldn't run away. Well, if he's not a runner and he wouldn't run away, then who took him out of the house? Who would have immediate access? Are there others? Are there other family members? Who would have access to that house? That's the question. The question is, who had access to that house? Who was in that house that we know for sure? Now, I understand that Chris says that he was where he was. His work has never verified that. The police have never verified that, which I would think. Now, they're not going to come out and clear Chris or Katie or Seth for that matter. But they will. I mean, it would be one of those things that they could say, well, look, this person was at work. This person was doing this, or this person was doing that. And they're not, law enforcement is not going out of their way to make it easy on Chris and Katie. They're just not. That's got to be for a reason. That's got to be for a reason. Who would get involved? Who has access to the house? Who? Law enforcement is not making it easy on them. Now, they could say, look, the guy's got an alibi, but they don't. And if he did really have a solid alibi, kind of like Dawn, Dawn was at work too all day, but, we've never heard that from anybody except Dawn. Just like we've never heard that Chris was away at work from anybody but Chris and Katie. Well, that's interesting. He very well may have been at work, but law enforcement has done nothing to confirm his story at all. At all. So then you want to couple that with, well, Chris and Katie aren't talking to Seth or Seth's family. So you have a divide right away instead of the cohesive unit that Chris so eloquently laid out there for us. You got to go through it layer by layer, piece by piece, brick by brick. It's there. We just don't know where Sebastian is, and we don't know who's responsible for it. But the fact of the matter is the kid did not run away. Sebastian didn't run away. Somebody facilitated this situation. Sebastian is not the only one involved. Somebody put him somewhere. Where he is, we don't know. What condition he's in, we don't know. But somebody took him there, wherever he is, because he's obviously not where he's supposed to be. So who has access to the house? That's a good question. Who was home? Katie. Could a mother actually do this? And what is this? Could she be responsible? Could she be responsible for her child going missing? She could. I struggle with that. Now, a lot of people have very, very strong opinions about Miss Katie. And this is just how I have felt through this whole thing. And I'm just going to say it. And if it comes off as criticism, so be it. I feel like she's more worried about her marriage. I could be wrong. I just feel like she's really up Chris's ass for some reason, you know. And I don't know why. I just don't know why she's more interested. I mean, it seems like they're really more interested in protecting themselves. And I understand self-preservation. I understand that. And that kind of that's the kind of feel that I get from her. But it's like I need Chris. I need him. You know? It's a terrible thing. But that's really just how I felt. Like that, I'm not saying that that's a factoid 100%. I just get that feeling. You know, like this is her man, she's going down with the ship or how would Chris not know? Or how would Chris know if Katie has done something? He'd only have her word. He could very well not be in the know. There's a scenario that although that 3-hour phone call would kind of probably throw you off a little bit from that, but there is a scenario where this 3-hour phone conversation could have something to do with it. And that Chris, maybe Chris knows nothing. Deception Detective wants to talk to Chris and Katie. I don't think that they're really up for doing many interviews anymore, which is probably a pretty good idea. And Solo Sock became a YouTube member. I appreciate that, Solo Sock. Thank you. Skinny became, see, now that's a cute cat. And Skinny gifted 5 lab memberships. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Honey Elder became a YouTube member. Thank you. And the them met 61. Appreciate it. Michael Harrison says, Josh, all this guy has done, in my opinion, is intimidate and threaten folks he perceives as weaker than him. Even got his parents doing it. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that they were chasing JLR around town and taking, whatever. One thing that I did find kind of weird is, why did Chris initially say that he took a polygraph and passed? And then when he went on Nancy, said that he didn't take a polygraph. He offered to take a polygraph, but due to proximity, they weren't worried about him. What's that about? That just seems like a straight up lie, isn't it? Does that not seem like just an out and out lie? Because he absolutely did say that they both passed polygraphs. And then he says, well, I didn't actually take one. Both statements can't be true. That's right. What's that about? I don't know. You tell me, Chris. Did you or did you not take a polygraph? Did you or did you not pass it? Now, I don't even really care so much about the passing or failing of the polygraph, but the fact that he was like so adamant that he took one. Yeah, we took one. Katie and I took one. And then he goes on national television and says, I didn't take one. They didn't even ask me to. What, they didn't? I don't know. That's something that stuck with me for a while. Look, if that's not suspicious to you, fine, good. God, man. I mean, sometimes I wish that like I've been thinking about that. And I'm just like, how does that happen? Like, why is that a problem? Yeah, I mean, but initially they give one to Katie. They say that they tell Seth that she has passed the polygraph. Seth says in his sort of, I don't know what I would say, but his sort of opinion that they tell everybody that, which I could see that as well. You know? So if you just break it down piece by piece, step by step, the inconsistencies are overwhelming. 35 days later, they leave the home due to threats. And if that is the case, and I'm not saying that they haven't got threats. People, there's no, first of all, that's not right to do. Stalking people or harassing people. And I'm not saying that that's what, I'm not talking about anybody specific. I'm just saying in general, it's not a good thing to do. I'm not referencing JLR or anybody else. I'm not. I'm just saying in general, you know, it's not appropriate. But there are people that want answers. Law enforcement would like answers. Seth would like answers. I would hope that Chris and Katie want those answers. But they haven't searched. Now, I understand that law enforcement said, you know, don't do this or don't do that or don't do that or don't do this. I mean, they lied. There are several lies. But the lie detector test, which is you know, talk about irony. Can you imagine that you lie about a lie detector test? And did you take one or didn't you? I'm going to go with that you didn't take one because you can lie to other people, but I think that you were probably like, Nancy might fact check me on this. Now, I don't know if she was going to or not. She might have very well. And Roswell, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate that very much. Good to see you, Roswell. Thank you for the $5 super sticker as well. I appreciate that. And Kimmy, the story is not looking good. 17 months. I think that that's a long time. Let's see here. Let me get down to the new comments. Wonder why they keep going back to Mississippi. I don't know. And you're 100% right. Kids don't just disappear. We're not talking. We're not talking about a 5-year-old, 4 foot nothing, 40-pound child. That's not. We're talking about it like a 5'5", 110-pound teenager. That would take a bit of doing, to remove him, to remove him from the home. Like, that's not going to be an easy thing to do unless, and I'm just saying this, that he was in a catatonic state. Well, how did he get to that catatonic state? Was it an accident? Did somebody lose their temper? Did somebody make it that way intentionally? It isn't going to be that easy to get a healthy 15-year-old boy out of a house. Yeah, lying about the lie detector is something I've never seen before. Yeah, and I think, I know that people get very frustrated at law enforcement. I understand that people are impatient and maybe don't really understand how the process works, and I'm with you on that. I don't really understand exactly what's going on behind the scenes, but the quietness and the lack of updates, the meetings, there's not many people that actually believe their story. I mean, there are some people that do believe it. And even kind of at first I was like, yeah, I mean, I just don't believe it. And I hope I'm wrong. And I'm not accusing them, but I'm also, I'm agnostic about it. Like, I fully believe that they could have absolutely done something, but I would also say that, I mean, it is possible. It is possible that they have nothing to do with it. But once again, go back to the odds. Three things you don't do when your child is missing and you aren't guilty of anything. Move away from the home after they go missing, avoid LE, and be uncooperative. Seems they were ready to leave. Law enforcement has said that they have fully cooperated with the investigation. They said the same thing about the wells at first. And it seems like at first everybody's cooperative. I would be interested to see where that stands now. but until told otherwise by law enforcement. But you're right. I mean, there are just some things that you don't do. Josh, that's your best intro ever. Thanks for defending Nina. I appreciate that. It's ridiculous, to be honest. Brandy became a YouTube member. I appreciate that, Brandy. Thank you very much. Look, I don't have any. I don't have a suspect, but it's obviously somebody. It's not a stranger thing. Like I just can't imagine some stranger just on a whim walking into a prominent neighborhood with floodlights and ring doorbell cams. And I'm still not convinced that they don't have that kind of stuff. But it's I don't. It's somebody that has direct access, that has had direct access, that knows the house, that knows the code, that knows, yeah, maybe somebody was there. Maybe there was somebody else in the house that was staying in the house. I don't know. But I do believe that I think that it'll come down to somebody close to the family or directly in the family or the family themselves. I don't think that this ventures too far off from the mark, and the mark is the home. And that's where the incident, whatever incident that was, because you can't define what the incident was. The incident is Sebastian going missing from the home. It doesn't seem as though there's a lot of outside investigation work going on currently. Yeah, that's another. I go back and forth on that one too. I don't know what the point of that is. Dad was called at 7:20. Well, then another thing is the phone call between Chris and Seth when he says, "Hey, I got to tell you something. Don't be upset. Sebastian's missing. Don't be upset. Sebastian's missing. Don't be upset. But Sebastian's missing. Your only child, your son, your 15-year-old boy. Don't be upset. Well, it'd be easy for you not to be upset." I would be upset. I'd be very, very upset. Matter of fact, I'd be enraged. And my first question would be, where the hell is he? Don't be upset. What is that? What is that? Don't be upset. I mean, what world do we live in? Bob H. Place, question. When did he take out the trash? Before bedtime or after? Theory. Lock him out, teach him a lesson, keeps running through my head. Well, once again, if you're trying to lock him out, I mean, I would imagine he would become upset. But I don't know. I don't know when he took it out. I think that would be very, I think that, yeah, that was. Is Seth here? I don't even know if he's here or not. Before bedtime, Trev time, bedtime. All right, good. Yeah, Seth this here. Good. Don't be upset. Sebastian's missing. Well, that's going to be a bit of a problem. What's up, Seth? It's good to see you, man. I know that I know that your Easter couldn't have been great, and you were in my thoughts today. You and Sebastian and Chris and Katie too. I guess I don't know. Sorta Nina, but you guys were in my thought. Absolutely. Um. Yeah, and so I find that odd. I find, there's no actual there's nothing tangible when you're bringing up the camera situation. You know, it was, yeah, I have heard things, of the sultry nature of desperate housewives, talk, and I don't have anything that proves any of that. And I don't know. I just don't know. I've heard rumors, but I don't have anything to substantiate that. But absolutely, there's got to be, if it's not them, then it's somebody close. It's somebody that can walk right in that house. Who would have the codes to that house? Why wouldn't cameras be working that day? I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know who says don't be mad. I just found that odd. Charlie says, "Hey Seth, hang in there, brother. We're all praying for Sebastian." Yeah. I don't know if they would have, Eric, I don't know if they would have access. Who would have access? Yeah, I'm telling you, man. If you're asking me, I was thinking about that, man. I was really thinking about that. If I were to get a phone call from somebody that said, "Don't be mad or upset," or whatever it was that was said, like, am I off on that? Does that seem just like one of the most ridiculous things to say? Don't be upset. So what is he? He's trying to keep you calm. He's calling you because they've called the police because it's been over an hour or so that they couldn't find him. That would piss me off, man. I would just, blows my mind. Blows my mind. Don't be upset like me. Well, Chris should have been upset too. I don't know if he was or if he wasn't, but holy crap, what a weird thing to say. A lot of people, when, first of all, I just don't even know why that would come up, but a lot of people, when they retell sort of their story, um, they kind of do so half in, half out, meaning they don't want to say fully, their either their involvement or their knowledge, because they don't want to implicate themselves or put themselves in a bad position. But I mean, seriously, the guy said he took a lie detector. Then he tells Nancy Grace he didn't take a lie detector. He tells Seth, "Don't be mad." I haven't seen Sebastian since early February, and people say that there's a reasonable explanation for that. But then I heard his answer to Nancy Grace about him coming back, and I still can't make heads or tails. of it. When he said that he visited or he didn't visit, I couldn't make that out, man. I couldn't figure it out. I had no idea what he was saying. It made no sense to me, which is kind of on par. But, you know, Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old white male, 5'5" tall, 110 pounds, with brown hair, brown eyes. Sebastian was last seen on February 26, 2024, in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Josh, he's back in town now. Is it suddenly a manageable weekend trip? Apparently it wasn't. He didn't want to be home, dude. He liked that camper. It's a nice camper. I'd live in a camper too, man. Shoot. I wouldn't want to go home either. It's a nice little camper. Yeah, honestly, and I find that almost comical if it wasn't such a sad situation. But of course, he would lie about a lie detector. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, it just seems weird, right? Or does it not? People don't think it's weird. He was only 3 hours away, 6-hour round trip. Of course, he could have made it home. But that's what I'm saying, though. If law enforcement, and I think he's pissed off that they won't say something like that, which I could understand that too, especially say he has absolutely nothing to do with this. I'm just putting it out there. Say he has nothing to do with this. I'd be even more pissed off than he is about the way that it's being handled. I'd be like, you're gonna let me hang out here to dry, knowing that, you know, somebody's either kidnapped him or he ran away, and now you got people just looking into me. Why can't you just say I was at work? You know, it's one of those things too. People think that just because law enforcement clears somebody, the same way that they clear somebody is as fast as they can do that, equally as fast they can rule you back in. You can be ruled out and you can be ruled in. Ruled out, ruled in. It's really not one of those things that is, you know, whatever, you know, it's oh, law enforcement ruled me out. Well, they could rule your ass back in, bro. All right. It's 35 days. Wax on, wax off. ICU. That's right. I like that. Rhonda says, am I the only one that sees a parallel to the Summer Wells case? Not real. No, I don't think so. I mean, I see it too, but you know, I don't know. I really do hope that, and I've said this from the beginning, that there was some misunderstanding, that he got outside the search area. Maybe he accidentally caught a bus somewhere, but this kid's face is all over. I mean, Chris and Katie can't even go to a Cracker Barrel without people recognizing them. You would think that if Sebastian is out there and moving along on his own, somebody would spot him. These folks can't even go have some barbecue. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They can't even go have some barbecue without somebody going, hey, I recognize them. The Hands interview was weird. Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really sure. My dream scenario is he's with a nice old lady with dementia. Well, it would be better than what most people are sort of, you know, envisioning. But, you know, like I said, the statistics are the statistics. 1/5 of all runaways return before 24 hours, 3/5 within the first week. And then, you know, I was reading about other cases where autistic children go missing. And it is true that sometimes, you know, they do meet their demise because maybe their sense of fear. I'm not saying that this is just like a cookie cutter explanation, but I don't know. For whatever reason, you know, something happens to them fatally, but they're found. They're found. That's why these are not like the rest. You know, heads up, Chris comes in chats. I don't care if I don't know if he's been in this chat before, but I don't care. I mean, I think that I'm trying to toe the line and be as fair as possible, but it's really hard to not have these thoughts or people, you know, I'm not the only one that is thinking this out loud. I don't encourage anybody to harass these people because everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But don't be upset. Like Chris says, don't be upset. I can't believe he said that. That really is weird. This is really weird, but you know, people say anything. I don't get it. I truly don't. I don't know that. I don't know anything about Alaska. What's this Alaska stuff? Hello, Seth. Prayers and well wishes. Well wishes your way. God bless. Yeah, I appreciate that, Jab. I think so. I mean, I hope so. I'm trying. I do have opinions. Da, da, da. And Sissy, aka Silly Rabbit, 8 months. Thank you thanks. Thanks so very much for all you do, Josh. 8 months. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Brandy, YouTube. Okay, we did that. Thank you again for that. Alexandra says, are you starting to get concerned that there have been no updates or arrests? Yes, I am. They're obviously having trouble putting pieces together. Obviously, somebody went through the trouble of making this much more difficult. So yeah. I am yeah, that's concerning, no question about it. And Sherry Davids, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate that. And Michelle L became a YouTube member. I think, and this is a $5 super chat. I think what Chris had initially said is that all polygraphs have been passed, but he didn't say who had actually taken one. I thought I read, and Trev, if you're still here, if I could get a clarification, I believe that I read him on a comment thread say that him and Katie both took polys and that they both passed. That's I think that's what I heard. I think so. Yeah, he did. He said he did. I'm pretty sure. And it is what it is. Member for 8 months. We love you, Seth. We love you, Josh. I love you too. Yeah, Josh does have an opinion. It was on. It was a Facebook comment. Yeah. Yep. Hold on. Let me see. Is that what happened? I think that's what he said. Let me just check with old faithful here. Where you at, Trevor? Okay, perfect. Thank you. So he was asked, have you both taken polygraph test? And if so, what were the results? He wrote back, yes, and the results are passed. That's what he said. That's what he said. So, yep, he said he took one. No doubt about that. And now he says he didn't take one. So, which one is it, brother? He either did or he didn't. I want to talk about his shoes, footprints to the retaining pond. Why is it such a touchy subject for Chris? He really wants everyone to know all shoes are accounted for. Yeah, I don't know. That's all good, dude. I don't know. I don't know why it's a touchy subject. There's a lot of things that are touchy with him. He's a touchy kind of guy. In my personal opinion. That's a great. So here's a fantastic. Frankie says, I honestly don't think Chris and Katie thought this case would ever go this viral ever. We're here for you, Seth and Sebastian. That happens a lot, and I don't know. Like I said, I was covering this when it was just a couple. There was just a couple, 3 maybe, I think, covering it at the time, and I saw it blow up in front of my own eyes. And because it just has so many things to it that are just so unbelievable. Like that's the issue, It did take off. And that's why we're here. I feel like there is a world where he was abused by Chris and ran away, met someone online, and that person caused Sebastian harm. I mean, look, is that possible? Yes. Without a trace, oh, that's where I struggle. And I do struggle with that. So the retention pond, the retention pond is is interesting in itself. That's true. But they drained the pond, correct, and they found nothing. But then all of this, you can talk about all of this, but you can't forget that a landfill was searched. How, like, They didn't, it wasn't just on a whim, man. But what did they find? Because they went quiet, bro, big time. They say they didn't find anything. Okay. But, we know that that's not true. Well, I don't know if I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm saying that they said that the tip, or that they got no tip or anything, or that it was just out of an abundance of caution. And, but I don't know. Yeah, the shoes are puzzling. I don't know if they're a red herring. To me, it just seems like that he wouldn't go outside without shoes like most people, unless they were coming right back in. Look, I've ran outside with shoes on, stepped barefoot in dog crap before. Not a good feeling. But you know what I'm saying? You get it. Let's see here. Hey, but I don't know how they can search a landfill in a day. That's been something that I've thought about as well too. I don't know. I know that they searched the landfill, and it was a 1 day search, and then they were supposed to come back, and everybody thought that they'd be there for a while. Turns out they weren't there for a while. What are you gonna do? Who knows? Who knows? Someone will. Yeah, I can see your comments, Virgo Angel. That's a Yeah, well, the problem, yes, a warrant, Trev, yes, a warrant does require a probable cause. However, they don't have to have a warrant. All they would need is consent, but it is best to get the warrant. And it seems like their probable cause was what the trash man said. So yeah, I mean, and I would think that would be probable cause. You know. But anyway, so that I wasn't trying to rehash stuff or turn people against people, and that seems like that's being done on its own. I'm sure that there are people that feel different or whatever. I don't know. They needed a warrant. Honestly, I think that you just need consent, but maybe I'm wrong. Hi, Ruby. It's good to see you. Yeah. Oh, also probable cause would be the child being missing. Um, it is easy, but how can I get some clarification on how long after he went missing that they searched? Because even though you have to dig down in the cells, like the trash gets piled on top of itself. What was little Quentin? Poor Quentin Simon was. It was over like 40 days. They knew where they were searching, but they had to. It was a whole thing. Katie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you're wrong, but there are people am I wrong? I thought there were two different landfills searched. I don't have the answer to that. I wish I knew. Um we don't know. No, we don't know. Yeah, the interwebs have divided the family more, have ran off united. Cajun Navy have done a lot of bad things for money, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Only one confirmed, rumored up to be three. Oof. That's not good. Ellie's very quiet. And I hope that's for a good reason, but I've seen it not be for good reasons. I've seen it just maybe for yeah, C. Taylor. But that's after days and days of trash, you know. I don't know if they've searched the chimney. I don't know what they've searched, other than what they've told us. JLR said the landfill search was for the construction area near the house, but not the house, but that's never been confirmed. The silence is deafening. Yeah. Wanted to know about the chimney being searched. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the chimney. I have no clue. Josh, Seth wants a link. Oh, okay. We could do that. I'll put the link in the Trevor. Trevor, are you out there? You can come up too if you want, man. Maybe maybe Seth can update us on where they're looking. Where the search is kind of headed this week and what's going on with that. Because I mean that's the searching is extremely important. Trev, you better get up here. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to. God forbid if you're. I know. Look at my comment. I did. That was your comment, right? Look at my comment. Let me see. I mean, this is a great question. I did. I posted it. Should be there. You first. Oh my god, that was nonsense. Look, it's like so weird, bro. Like it's like people are weird. What are you talking about? You don't want us to talk about it? Okay, fine. Since you said so. Stupid. Did it fly by again? I don't know. Hold on. Do I have to pin it? There you go. All right. Oh, there we go. I'm taking it down now. Deleting it, removing it. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Fellas, how are you tonight? Happy Easter to both of you.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Seth. Good evening.
How you doing, man?
It was a lonely day.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm telling you, you guys were in my thoughts, and you know we were all hoping for a Easter miracle, but the search continues this week, correct?
Yes, sir. Every day.
All right, and meeting at the same spot
at the rudder.
And I'm not trying to get into that or anything, but is it still being ran by the Cajun Navy, or are they gone?
Being ran by me.
Ran by you. Okay, so you're back in charge. Well,
I was in charge. Just some people didn't realize it.
I can understand that, but yeah, it just turned into a mess. But okay, so the search is ran by you. God bless that. I think that, you know, that's a great thing. But so you had your meeting with Ellie, and I heard you talk a little bit about it, and I know that you can't really go into it, but what is it? Can you tell us anything about that?
Not really. I mean, they showed me the video with the lights and what everybody was saying was flashlights, but they showed me the whole video, um, and then they showed me what I've been asking for since week 1, which was proof of life since Thursday.
Did
I
you
was
get that?
speak to him. Yeah, they showed me a video of my son and his mother leaving Texas Roadhouse.
And what day was that?
That was Sunday. That was the day that they went out to eat on Sunday.
Okay, and so they left the house, or they left the Texas Roadhouse. Was that what it was? And was it reported that they were headed straight back to home? Is that what's supposed to happen?
Correct.
Well, I mean, so that places him in her custody that day, and that allegedly that they made it home. And you know, so I mean, that's something. How are you? Are you in contact with law enforcement daily?
I'm in contact with TBI almost daily.
Yeah, and they just kind of give you a say. What do they say? We're still working on it.
They either tell me something or they tell me nothing, which is something.
Nothing is something. Anything promising? I mean, any tips, any leads, any search areas that you find promising?
If I find anything that's promising, I'm out there.
Right. Right. And geez. Can let me just, I do want to ask you about this, and I'm not trying to get you riled up, but you know, I found it really odd when Chris said to you to not be upset. Did you find that odd?
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, he's an odd person.
Yeah. Look, I mean, maybe that was his way of like, hey, you know, don't freak out. But I don't know how anybody wouldn't freak out. I really don't. That'd be impossible to me, at least. I don't know. But it's just
He wouldn't be my first stalker.
what's that? Oh, Seth, I'd hope you'd come on here. No, I'm not stalking you. Whenever anybody says that they're not stalking, for sure. you know what it is. Trevor, tell me about the these landfill searches that have everybody so confused.
Well, all that's been said or confirmed was the landfill search on the 7th of March, and it was at least reported by media that it was the landfill where their trash goes to.
In Kentucky?
Yes, it's a couple hours from Sumner County, and they searched for an entire day, and initially had planned to go back out the second day, and then did not.
And so that trash site is where the residential trash goes?
That's what was reported, yes.
But now you have people saying that it was the construction trash zone, right? I mean, what law enforcement said is that they were searching the landfill from where the trash was dumped from the home. Is how I understood it.
Right.
Does that seem, am I right there?
Yeah, it was said that it was where their trash was taken.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's, what is law enforcement telling you about searching, Seth? I mean, they've obviously given you their blessing, but there are
I
there are
wouldn't
no,
say they gave me their blessing, but you can't tell me that you can't stop me from searching.
yeah, right, right. That, I mean, that's so. So okay, so say you weren't searching, who would be searching then?
I don't know.
Because that seems like a problem in itself. Like if it wasn't for you, there would be no search parties going on. And I find that crazy. So to me, and I'm probably completely wrong, that would indicate that they know something, that they have an idea of something. Unless they're just not, unless they've just, you know what I'm saying? How there's not constant updates, but even like once a week updates or whatever. I mean, but TBI has gone silent, and they've gone silent right after the landfill stuff. You know what I mean? And they say they found nothing there. And, thank God, because look, if he's out there, he needs to be found, but it don't want that. You just don't want that. I don't need to tell you that. It's just like, is Seth controlling the search grid? I don't know. I really, Seth, can you talk about the search? I don't know.
I control what I send people. People
Yeah.
control if they go there or not.
And are you guys meeting at 10 tomorrow?
9:30, but yeah,
9:30. And do you have some volunteers coming out?
I hope.
All right. So let's put in the chat. Seth is looking for help to help search for tomorrow, 9:30. Yeah, I don't know why. They searched, that initial search was pretty vast, right? I mean, it was pretty exhaustive. I mean, they did do a lot of searching, but then it just stopped, went into investigation mode, and then we haven't heard
I went
much
to a
since.
place last Saturday, not this Saturday that just passed, but the Saturday and Sunday before, and the owner told me that Sumner County Sheriff's Department were out there and that they had 6 officers that came out to their property, but they left after 10 minutes.
Can you repeat that? I want to make sure I got that right.
That warehouse building that I went and searched that JLR recorded,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember.
the owner told me that Sumner County had been out there, or law enforcement had been out there the day before, and it was supposedly six people in uniform came out. They were there for 10 minutes and then they left.
And that's a pretty big piece of property, right? Because it's a whole warehouse, so there's quite a bit of space to cover.
Extra, well, there were other buildings, and yeah, we spent more than 10 minutes searching that whole place. So
Yeah.
Hold on. Sorry. Are you guys there?
I
Yeah.
am.
Did you get my text, Trev?
I just saw it. Sorry.
Sorry. Anyway, I had to take a little bathroom break there. Hold on here. And so, and when was that? That was recent.
It wasn't this weekend. It was last weekend.
So 6 officers. So maybe they are following up on tips and things like that. Maybe that's what's, I don't know. I just, I'm confused. I know you're more confused. It is just, it's a really confusing thing. Can you tell, I'm sure you're probably tired of answering this question, but how do we know about the shoes again? Can you tell me that? How do we know he didn't have shoes?
Because his feet were growing. So we had just bought him new shoes. I bought him a new pair of boots from Boot Barn, and she had bought him a new pair of sneakers from whatever.
And so those were the only two he had?
And at the front door, he had his boots, the shoes the boots that I had bought him, the new tennis shoes his mom had bought him, and his old tennis shoes that were getting too small for him.
Yeah, right. I got you. So he didn't have a ton of shoes. You had gotten rid of some shoes because of his feet growing. So that's how.
Unless of course he bought him shoes that I didn't know about, but I don't really stay in their house.
Right.
Try when I went there, I was uncomfortable all the time anyways.
Yeah. Diamond Girl says, Josh, they called Seth in to show him proof of life, but why did they call Katie in? Well, I don't think that was the only reason, right? Seth, that wasn't the only reason. I mean, you were the one that asked for that, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, he was with Katie, so she would know that there was proof of life, but hey, what do you make of, you never took a polygraph, right? No, they never asked you to take one.
Nah, I volunteered though.
Yeah, well, so Chris early on said that him and Katie both took one and that they both passed. And then on Nancy, he said that he actually never took one because of his proximity to the house. But you said that TBI did tell you that Katie had taken a polygraph and passed.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting, but maybe that's just maybe that's who they're just telling, I mean, I don't know. Polygraphs don't really mean much. You being in law enforcement, you would know that. But they don't, I mean, especially these kind of cases.
There's a whole world around an investigation.
Say that again.
I said there's a whole world around an investigation.
Right. No, I can understand that. It's
they use them in court to put people away because people just know how to tell the truth.
Well, I hear another thing is that it's interrogation tactic as well, which I could understand that, and so maybe they'll just say, hey, maybe they did pass, or maybe they didn't pass, or they kind of leave it out there. But
I don't know if they do interrogation like the way I was taught way back in the day.
Yeah, those are rough interrogations, huh?
Well, don't hurt me much.
So we have Katie taking a polygraph, Chris not. You didn't take one. The one thing that I've thought about it is if Chris is, I say alibi, I'm not saying alibi, but if he was where he said he was the whole time, and I don't have any reason to disbelieve him or believe him, I don't know, till I hear it from somebody else. Wouldn't that be fairly easy to confirm that if he was at work or not?
Should be.
But have you got a definite answer on that?
They haven't told me nothing, but I thought he was there.
You thought he was at work?
I'm under the assumption that he was in Memphis.
Is that only because of what he said?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So nobody's really corroborated anything like that for you guys. And I mean, obviously you were at work because you didn't get the phone call until you had left. You had got a text message, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I don't get though. I don't understand why law enforcement wouldn't just come out and say, "Hey, yeah, this person was actually
Law enforcement doesn't clear you.
but I don't think that's clearing somebody. That's just kind of saying, "Hey, you know, this person was here at this time," and that's, because even I said this earlier, you can get cleared and then you can get uncleared. I mean, that's happened before. I'm not asking him to clear anybody. I'm just saying that, like,
They won't even clear me.
What's that?
I said they won't even clear me. So
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. That's true, but I don't know, man. Your actions definitely speak much, much louder. Hold on, there's a couple questions here. Time is it where you're at? It's got to be after midnight.
that's
And okay, listen to Chris. He's worried about shoes. He cuts Katie off on Nancy Grace. There's something about the shoes. I don't know, man. I don't know if this, like, I understand that people's fascination with the shoes. I just don't know. I don't know if that's a red herring or not. I mean, maybe it could be. What question did Seth want Trev time to ask? I don't know. What's that, Trevor?
Oh, I'm not sure. I talked to Seth for a few hours when I was in town. I'm sure he's tired of hearing my questions.
Yeah, probably. Makes sense. Summer's Army says, Seth, we're praying for you. And from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. That's a ways away. You ever been to Canada, Seth?
no, I haven't, but I would like to go. But
Good.
I don't have a passport.
Yeah, you need a passport to go anywhere anymore. Yeah.
Not to. I don't think. What's that douche whistle that's in Parliament up there?
Trudeau
What's that?
in Canada?
Yeah,
Trudeau?
yeah. Me and him wouldn't get along.
Douche whistle.
That's a good one.
I've never heard that one, but I'm gonna lock that one in. No offense to our Canadian viewers.
Well, that's what meant. If you support him, then you probably support Biden.
Yeah, well,
I don't support child molesters or hair sniffers either.
hair sniffers. Yeah, I can understand that too. Douche whistle. That's a good one. One time Trevor called somebody fossil nuts, like an old man that he doesn't like. He called them fossil nuts.
Yeah, but old men can sling those nuts and they might hurt.
I ate Subway the other day. Yesterday. Thought about you the whole time.
Was it fresh?
Probably not. Probably not. They told me that they told me they had to get some fresh bread from the back.
Oh, yeah, I bet you it came with dental floss.
That bread was walking.
It certainly did. Well, I'm gonna let you guys get to bed because I know it's after midnight there, and you got a search tomorrow. I appreciate you coming up and talking. I'm sorry that today just wasn't the day. Hopefully tomorrow's the day, and this nightmare ends. It's just
It is a nightmare, but I'll tell you, nightmares do end at some point in time.
Somebody said, how do you feel about Nina? From what I understand, that he feels fine about her, but that's up to Seth.
I'm sorry. Are you Chris? Are you telling me how I'm supposed to answer?
How do you feel about Nina?
Hurricane or Chris's ex-wife?
The latter.
Both if you want. It doesn't matter to me. Chris's ex-wife first.
I feel sorry for that lady. I really do. I mean, she dealt with somebody. If half of what she said was true, all right, not saying that the whole thing wasn't true. All right, if half of what she dealt was true, then she's probably got PTSD to begin with, and she's probably in fear of her life.
Yeah. Look, when listening to that, it was shocking. And you're right. Even if one of those incidents were true, I believe her. I absolutely believe her because she's got a lot on the line, man. You know, she's got a lot on the line. So for her to come out and tell Porky's is going to would be a big problem for her in her upcoming battle, you know. So, and I don't think that she's dumb by any means at all.
No. And we cleared that with her attorney before we even hit record.
Right. So she's got a lot on the line. Let's see. Seth told Dolly that Dolly didn't ask him the correct questions. What are the correct questions to ask to get some answers? Well, I'm assuming that you don't have the answers.
If I had the right question, then I would have the right answer, and having the right answer means I would know where to go to find myself.
Correct. So I understood what you meant by that.
I have no problem at people asking questions because I'm hoping that some point in time it will click and I'll know where to go find myself.
Yeah. That's kind of how I took I did hear about that, but I understood what you meant by that. It's like, well, if the questions, if they're not the right questions, we're not going to get the right answers, you know.
Correct.
And
what was this in chat?
There's a lot of stuff in chat.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. Tell Debbie no, she didn't come with a lawyer.
Did somebody call me fat? Do I need to delete them? Did Katie come with a lawyer to the meeting? Debbie says no. The answer is no.
What did Mohawk Mom say? PhD Christian said at Mohawk Mom, that's hearsay. I want to hear it from Seth. Yes, I called Trudeau a douche whistle.
I don't know if that's hearsay. That's your opinion.
No, I don't know what at Mohawk Mom. I don't know what she said.
Mohawk Mom's solid. I don't know. I didn't see the chat's going pretty fast. Unfortunately, it's really hard to.
I know. I was looking for it.
Sonia says, Seth, I'm sending you love. Excuse me, Seth. I'm sending you a hug from Australia.
I'll take the hug.
All right. We could all use one of those, huh?
We could all use gratitude.
Josh, you're handsome like sweet Seth. Great. Thank you. Great work. Trevor, you're a good kid. That's true. He is a good kid. I like Trevor a lot. Does anyone know?
I found her comment.
Yeah, what was it?
She said Seth was at the home before Chris got there. It was after 1 p.m. So they're talking about the day Sebastian was reported missing.
Yeah, what was can you tell me about the delay? What was this? Why did it take him so long to get home? Did he say that he had to wait for something? He had to get relieved? Is that why it took him so long to get there? If he was called at 6:30 or whatever, it's a 3-hour drive back. So say it took him a half hour to get his stuff together, and he didn't hook up his fifth wheel, and he just drove back. why would it take him after 1 or 2 o'clock to get there? Was there ever any discussion of that?
No.
Did you find that awkward or weird?
No.
Really? Well, maybe I'm off. I don't know. To me, I would think that you would come home. I don't know. Maybe I've heard that people said that he needed relief or something on his job or whatever. And I mean, that's totally possible. So maybe it's not as strange, but I mean, 7 hours seems like a long time. But who knows what was going on?
That is a long time.
Well, I mean, how long did it take you to get there? What time did you get to the house?
About 40 minutes after
You got called?
After I called him.
Right. Okay. But I mean, you're closer. But still, it I don't know. Maybe he had to get somebody to, I don't know. Do they decommission cranes? I don't know what the frig. What, you got to park one of those things or you just leave it? I have no idea. I don't know anything about cranes. I like them, but I don't know anything about them. Please check your messages. What the hell? Okay, so the address for the meetup, so for the volunteers, people are asking.
Oh, hold on. Thomas Randall, you're correct.
Yeah, Thomas, you're correct. What's Thomas correct?
I don't know, lean on me. I did not look in the cabinet.
Let's see here. Monica says, Seth, I've been praying for you and your son every day. I'm sorry that this is happening. Mab's in the house. What up, Mab? Fun fact about Mab we learned on Lab After Dark last night is that he likes blue cheese on everything.
Reap what you sow, because it's an active investigation and I don't work for the sheriff's department.
Okay. Back to what's the address?
126 River Road, Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Hendersonville, Tennessee. There you
go. So you don't misspell it.
What? Misspell Hendersonville?
Any of that. Like road.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm good. All right. So Tennessee. Perfect. Did I put it out there? Just spell road. This is a tough one, Seth. I'm going to need you to help me. The THE.
I can't read.
Why not?
Can't read your handwriting.
You sound delirious. It's been a long day, I'm sure. It's late there.
Stand up, kneel down, sit. Stand up, kneel down, sit. Stand up, kneel down, genuflect, sit. Stand up, kneel down, genuflect, sit. Welcome to Matt.
Yeah. Yeah. Big hugs, Seth. Canada hates Trudeau too. Gail gifting a lab membership. Thank you so much, Gail, and single mom as well. All right. So I don't know. I didn't even pin it. Damn it. I'll pin it. Oh, there it is. Hold on. I'm going to pin it at the top of this chat. And then I will also, oh no, I did pin it. Never mind. I'm on top of it.
I don't know if she's got a personality. No, my son did not have a passport.
No.
I have PayPal or Venmo.
What'd you say? You don't?
I don't.
He don't. But there is a GoFundMe that's still active, correct?
Yeah, and a Cash App that somebody else gave me to use.
And a Cash App that somebody else gave him to use. Is that on what's the best way?
Probably the Cash App, I guess. The GoFundMe is fine too.
Okay.
Cash App is faster.
Yeah.
The
What
Go
is that?
um is Trev Time still in here?
Yep.
I think Trevor has it all.
Trev, can you put it in the chat for me?
Yeah, let me grab it real quick.
Cool.
Like, I don't know how to do this stuff. You guys realize that I can program a VCR, I can build a tower, but figuring out this stuff is just a little delirious for me.
You can program a VCR. You still have that? You still have a VCR?
No.
Oh, well.
But I can program one.
Yeah.
Darn.
Is it TM Fleming?
Yep. Hey Trev Time, did you have the link to that place where I was buying my shirts with Sebastian's face on them?
I can see if I have it. Let me check real quick.
People were asking me where I was getting the shirts from.
Oh, okay. Cool. Very good.
I'm like,
Let's see.
so.
So
But other people have ordered them.
so you can order those shirts and Trevor will have the information for the I did see your shirt. It was beautiful, but it's heartbreaking too at the same time. You know, it's a
Yeah, we got a couple hundred flyers out here to pass out here in East Tennessee, and I got a yard sign to put up here too now.
okay. So is it Trevor? Is it TM Fleming?
Mm-hmm.
That's the correct one.
TMB Fleming.
Okay, so that's not right. Unpin.
I'm typing it out in the chat.
I will speak to that lawyer tomorrow about how we can get to donate for the rewards. I don't know if it's going to work, at least because that attorney likes to give people receipts for what they put in. It keeps him out of trouble.
Mm.
Yeah, reward funds can get tricky. If not, I know there's been some other cases where nobody got receipts and then it was all convoluted.
Okay, so there's the correct one there. There it is.
Remember, isn't that your job, Josh?
What? To shout out new members?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I appreciate you doing that. Let's see. Stephen Rhodes became a YouTube member. I appreciate that. And Seth co-signed that for you. Isn't that your job? Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is. It is. Along with ranting and pontificating and getting pissed off and like Seth, when did X contact you that your son was missing?
My ex has never actually contacted me about my son missing.
When was the last time you talked to her?
What do you mean by talk to her? Like the last time she gave me a snide remark, or the last time I said hello?
The last time that vocal waves came out of her mouth to your ears towards you.
TBI investigate when I went for my meeting.
And before that, when?
About 2 weeks before that.
So I mean, she's not communicating with you at all. But that wasn't uncommon, was it? Before Sebastian went missing,
it was on and off. It was like, are you having a good day? If you're having a good day, I might be able to, but if she's pissed off at me,
Oh, okay. Trevor, tell me again the Cash App.
Okay, 1 second. I just closed it out. Let me grab it.
I heard the Alaska rumors.
Somebody said that Chris's family left to Alaska. I don't know.
Who is Ricky Beavers?
I think that was right. Ricky Beavers is a country music singer that
There,
comes
it's
in
up in the chat, Josh.
Okay, so that one was right. So there's no numbers or anything.
Nope.
Okay.
It's just TMB Fleming.
TMB.
Fleming.
No, I don't think Katie's scared of anybody unless she's scared of my mother.
Well, look, man. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, Ricky is a musician. So yeah, Ricky's been around for a while, I think. I like him. He told me one time, he goes, I never used to like you, and then kind of left it there. I didn't know if that changed or not. Thinking of you, Seth. Let's bring Sebastian home. Okay, so it is pinned at the top. I'll pin it in the description of the video. Tomorrow, 9:30. I lost the address again, but I'll pin that as well.
And there's how you get a shirt. I don't know why it's popping up in 2 separate comments, but
Hey, Trevor,
yes, sir.
I'm looking for your number. I think I fucked up and didn't actually title it.
I can just shoot you a text and tell you it's me.
Feisty Justine wants to know, is Katie a mean alcoholic, Seth? You don't have to answer that.
My back if it could speak.
What's that?
I said my back would if it could speak. Yeah, text me because I think I have your number, but I sent everything to you in here, didn't I?
Yeah, I've got the GoFundMe. I've got the lawyer for the reward fund, the Cash App, and then
I'll need those links too, and then I'll put them in the video description. Okay. You have flyer links too?
Yeah, I'll send that all to you, Josh, after, so we can put it on the
cool
comments.
Awesome. Well, all right, guys. I'm gonna let you get. I know you got to search tomorrow. I'm praying for you, rooting for you, and I know that. Like I said, I just have this feeling, man. You're gonna be the reason that he's found. I mean, I've just felt that way, man. You're out there. You're looking for him. What more can you do? You know what I mean? Honestly, I mean, what more can you do? 9:30, the Rudder 126 River Road, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075, 9:30 tomorrow morning, organized by Seth himself. Please show up and support him. Help him search for his son if you have the time and are in the area. It's a righteous thing if you can, honestly. So,
did you get those, Trevor?
Yes, I'll link them all in the comments, and Josh will be able to pin it up there.
Yes, sir. I sure will. Seth said he was not wearing the clothes. He went in at the restaurant. At the restaurant, he was wearing jeans
and a t-shirt.
Okay, so he did change clothes when he went home to go to bed. Okay, good enough. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. I'll put all that stuff down there. And we'll talk. I'm sure we'll talk this week.
Is that a threat or a promise?
It's both. I mean, it depends. It depends what you think of me. Really, that's all that matters, I guess. Now, Trevor,
it would be a
threat.
You know,
What's that?
I said it really just kind of depends.
Yeah, it just depends what you think of me. Maui girl says, was there evidence he was home after the restaurant? I mean, is that something you know about or could speak about?
There's a video of him taking out the trash.
Oh, there is?
The only issue is that it's really dark and you can't really see anything in it.
But you can't see him.
But he had a flashlight, and that's just a weird question. Do I like corn dogs? It depends on what you're doing with the corn dogs.
Just
man.
don't worry about that question. It's more aimed at me. Trust
Well,
me.
I don't know what Josh be doing with the corn dogs. But
I eat them, but that's it.
where
Sometimes.
were they before you ate them?
Say that again.
Where were they before you ate them?
I don't know. If you're asking me if I keister corn dogs, the answer is no.
The fact that you would actually say that you keister corn dogs.
No, I didn't say. I said I don't. I said I don't keister corn dogs.
You should never have those two words in the same sentence, Josh.
Well, sometimes a man's got to defend himself.
What?
By using the word keister and a corn dog.
Look, man, this corn dog thing has been going on for like 3 years. It's a thing. I wish it wasn't.
The question is, what kind of corn dogs do you like, Josh?
I like them all. I like them all. Mini.
Do you like state, the state fair corn dogs that come in the blue box, or do you like the ones that are yellow that are the honey dipped? Look, now he's thinking. He's like,
I like them both.
You stuttered on that.
We just always end up. Who was it in the chat? Because I'm going to ban them permanently. Who said anything about the corn dog? You read the comment. You didn't say it though, and I'm going to corn dogs are cool. Look,
they didn't say it either. I did.
Are there corn dog emojis? Do we have corn dog emojis? Because if there are,
eggplant for you.
I'm good on that. Who was at the restaurant with? Do you know who was at the restaurant with them? If you could say.
The only people I saw was Sebastian and Katie are the ones that came out of the door and got in the vehicle.
But there was allegedly other people at.
I can neither verify or deny that, but I didn't see anybody.
Okay, gotcha. And then, do you know what time the trash was taken out?
Like 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's when it was picked up. When did Sebastian take it out? The night before?
The time feed on that I saw.
Say that again.
I did not see a time on that.
No time feed.
Shoes at restaurant. I'm sure he was wearing shoes at the restaurant, but I'll let Seth answer that.
He was, but I wasn't paying attention. I was just kind of happy that I could see that my son was alive.
Yeah, right. No, I mean that's significant. I mean, I'd want to see the same thing.
I was smiling, but I haven't seen my son, and just to see him alive and proof of life after I talked to him on Thursday was pretty good for me.
And the jab, I will ask him. There's somebody that wants to make some shirts and donate them. I will. If that's something, I'll connect you. That would be cool. Hold on. Okay, Seth, and okay, I think I got that one.
Yeah.
Let me see, and then Mike. Seth, did X have drinking problems?
Josh, did you turn everybody into corn dog lovers?
Well, I have corn dog problems, but
It's your problem too.
Well, I'm so glad that you're in on the corn dog thing. That's awesome, man. I'm glad that this is great.
Hey, I'm not holding the corn dog, but I'm just wondering where it disappeared to.
Well,
It's like socks in the dryer. Where'd the corn dog go?
I filled a hole. Let's just say that. Moving on.
All right.
That's what somebody said to me one time when they handed me a hot dog. They said, plug a hole. I didn't know what that meant. Look at all those corn dog emojis. Unbelievable. Hey, Seth, did your ex have a drinking problem? That's
I
the
believe
question.
she did when I was married to her.
She did when you were married to her?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. I hate asking that question, but twist the chat.
It's been over 30 days. There's always a chance, a possibility that he's in another state. I mean, in 30 days, you could move anybody anywhere.
Yes, totally. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said,
There was an autistic child that, after being gone for missing for 13 days, was found 200 miles away, and he was walking.
right. Right.
You know, I don't think he had, a bag full of corn dogs like Josh, but
Well, look. Not only would I have a bag full of corn dogs, I'd keep a microwave on the side hooked to a mini generator.
hey, they just told me I have become a lab rat.
Is that true? Yeah, well, yeah, I could see that. I could see you becoming a lab rat.
What
I think
kind
so.
of tests are you going to run on me?
What's that?
So, what kind of tests are you going to run on me?
Mostly lobotomies. That's what we do mostly here.
Yeah, he's done 3 on me.
Yeah.
Involved corn dog, we're good.
Well, as I have a corn dog drill that I use, and yeah, Seth, that we'll have to send it to you. So one time I leaned into I reviewed a corn dog, like from a local restaurant here. Did you ever see that, Trevor? Did you see that?
Yes.
And
Why are you bringing Pornhub into here?
what are you talking about?
No corn dog.
Corn dog.
Corn dog grill.
Yeah, I did. I reviewed. You can see it on my channel. It's on this channel, unfortunately. And I mean, I went through the whole process. I rated it. It was good. It was interesting. But
Ask Christina what she means.
Christina, what do you mean? I don't know. What did
Oh, those are when they type out the emojis is what it looks like in our chat. It just comes up with the words.
No, the Christina Keffer. Seth was there.
Oh.
Something on Thursday that didn't appear right to you. You have to remind me of what I was doing on Thursday.
this Thursday?
Last Thursday.
Oh. I don't know.
Southern Heathen 13. Yeah, I have searched a route that I would bring Sebastian to my house on.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Corn dog, Scoppy. All right. Well, that's the end of the show. I appreciate you being here. And yeah. Everybody go enjoy a corn dog.
Whistle while you lurk.
Yeah, Whistle's legit. Big fan of Whistle. Dolly said Katie's parents live right by him. Right by who?
By him, by Dolly.
Oh, great. Awesome. All right. I'm at it. Anything else? Any other corn dog references? Anything? Tomorrow meeting at
The
Rudders, and I will pin that all. And then there's the GoFundMe link.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put all the links in the after chat comments so we can have it pinned.
Cool. All right, guys. I appreciate it, Seth. Good luck tomorrow, friend. Honestly, and I hope that he's found tomorrow morning or tonight or just as soon as we're done here. You know, I'm really hope that happens, man.
Kitty Cat, if you would like to show up, we'll bounce ideas. That
There you
sounded. Shit.
I like how after he says it and he kind of mumbles to us, so he's like, it sounds like this.
It sounded bad. All right.
I didn't think it sounded that bad. I didn't think it sounded that bad. I don't know. Something about you loving corn dogs. All right, guys. I will catch you later and send that over. I appreciate it. Thank you, Seth. And thank you, Trevor.
No problem, Josh. You have a good night.
You too, buddy. You too. You're in our thoughts, really. Happy Easter.
Hopefully not while you're eating a corn dog.
Now I want a corn dog, and I don't even like corn dogs that much. But I'll eat it. I'll eat one for you. All right, guys. Take care. All right. There we go. Well, I appreciate everybody. Man, I thought we were just gonna do an hour tonight. We ended up 2.5, but it was great conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was somewhat informative. I know it was a lot of opinion and speculation, but anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate you very much. Thank you for, I don't want to miss the Seth is Katie always flat and soft voice. We've asked him that before. He said no. So, oh yeah, he's just like me, man. We like to joke. We like to joke. All right, here we go. Play us out. Appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the new members. Seth is a lab rat now as well. I mean, look, we're all here for each other. Appreciate it, y'all.